All right. Good morning. It is July. You made it just in time, Mick. Just in time. Yes. It's July 20th, guys. We just posted the leaderboard in our group. People are cranking. The third and fourth week, they're always my favorite because it's like you can really start reaping what you've sown as things start coming in. And so I'm really excited about this call today. I don't want to take too much time here on the front end. This is just really special when you have somebody in the organization from another team that is doing great things, that has been very successful, willing to show up with their time and their energy. And listen, there's no vested interest when you're speaking to a bunch of people who you make no money off of and have no ties to. And I think that's also where sometimes you can benefit the most by listening, because you really can listen with an open heart to Angela. And I'm sure you get sick of my voice, and you know I make money off of your performance. So yeah, there's some there's some vested interest, but I love you so much that I want to get somebody else who I think is just absolutely amazing, and bring her to the conversation to be able to inspire you. And you know what I love about Angela? As I was thinking about this today, Angela, I almost texted you and just said, do you have a hat that you could wear today that could be just like your hat? Because whatever you showed up in would be completely different than me. And this girl and I, you go put our Instagrams side by side, guys, we couldn't be more different. We could not be more different with COVID issues, political issues, just we are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. But guys, I love this woman. She's my sister. When you put us together in business, we are a powerhouse, and we are actually way more alike than we are different. We show up on our Instagrams and our social media with different, we create the niche that follows us. And so we put things out there sometimes that are just, if people don't agree with you, they ain't going to follow you. But that's what you do in this company. You attract your niche, your tribe to you. But Angela and I can sit at a dinner table and she just have soul felt conversations. I met her in Jamaica. I think that's where I really first met Angela, was in Jamaica on a trip. And just had dinner with her, and just, one of those people you just sit across from and you're like, they've got heart, they've got soul, like you could just connect with them, and you could just talk for hours. And every time I've ever seen her after that, she just does my heart good. And she's an amazing woman, and someone who needs more platform, more voice, because she's been through a lot in this company in the last 3 years. And if you read her bio, guys, in 3 years, she has climbed to a rank 7. That's a lot of hustle. That's a lot of work. That's saying, when you hit a rank 6, it means, you're just getting your journey started here. When you you go from a 6 to a 7, it's saying, I'm a leader and I can flex and work with different people, and my business is my own. And you have to create a culture and a community and a tribe as a 7. And sometimes you have to do it for yourself, because any leader that's above you is probably, if you're a 7, has probably already kind of disconnected in a way and let you take your own tribe. And so I know she's been standing on her own for a while. And if you follow her, you will see a very authentic spirit come out on her social media. And I asked her, what she felt like her gift set was, but I could have written this about her anyway, just from watching her. I know that she's been through, much like myself, a lot of trauma, a lot of drama, a lot of hard life situations, especially in the last 3 years when she's been climbing up this to a 7. And so we are all going to go through things in our life, and working on your mindset, being able to show up at your job and for your team and stay present with your loved ones and your family, that's not easy to do. And so that's something you develop. It's something that when the storm is going, you can stay anchored regardless of what's going on around you. And because of her power and controlling her mindset and her energy through the storms of life, she has grown a successful business through it all. And so with that being said, Angela, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I gave them the short bio of your story, but I'd love for you to just open up this call with your story of kind of how you came to prove it and what's been happening ever since.
Oh my gosh, Abby, thank you so much. That was, I'm all in my feels, and feels make me very uncomfortable. I'm a Leo, so thanks so much for that. And yeah, everything she said, and yeah, same. You have my heart. None of the other stuff matters. I mean, it does matter, but it doesn't matter because yeah, we got a soul connection here. So hey guys, first of all, thank you so much for jumping on. You could be doing anything with your time right now, so I really appreciate this. And like she said, I will never benefit financially from you. Hopefully you'll benefit financially from something that I have to say, but this means more to me than anything. Just the belief in me and giving me your time is super important because that's your most valuable resource. So I appreciate you guys. So yeah, it'll be the end of September will be 3 years with Prove It. I've been with 15 companies. So I am a single mom of 4. I became a single teen mom at 17 and then got married at 19 and then had 3 more babies very quickly. So I was a mom of 4 by the time I was 22. And because of that, I always wanted to find a way to make money without leaving my kids. Not only did I not want to leave them, although then I discovered I could use some time out of the house, hence going to places like the Bahamas and New York and everything, but also the cost of daycare alone made me be like, well, what could I do that could bring in income or offset a cost, as their mother. So fast forward, going through all these different companies, struggling, doing in-home parties, never really making an income, but always wondering how those people on stage got to where they were. Have you guys ever done that? You ever been to an event before? Maybe, I know some of you guys have been on stage, but you watch the people go across stage and you're like, what do they have that I don't? How do I ever get there? And I remember feeling like that all the time, every company I was in, because I've always plugged in. I mean, that's obviously key, right? Is showing up and plugging in wherever that we can. And then I made a scary leap and I left a company that I was with for 8 years and realized then the biggest lesson I learned then and what brought me to Prove It was you've got to make those scary jumps. You've got to, shift a little bit, find who you are. So when Prove It literally like fell into my lap, I was very skeptical. I was like, how in the world does this packet, which I think that there were 4 flavors at the time, there was chocolate, orange, Maui, and raspberry. I thought there's no way, as somebody who had been overweight their entire lives and struggled with body image issues and self-love and everything, I'm like, there's no way this white packet or this white powder is gonna do anything for me. But it didn't matter because I believed enough in the company and what I had heard that I actually had no money. I was in a very unhealthy marriage. We lived in a very small place with little to no natural light. And I basically was what I like to call a couch mom. I would just bring my overweight self down to my spot on my couch. I would sleep there. I would cry there. I would scream from there. And that's pretty much what my existence was. And then when I heard about the powder, I was like, well, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to join. I joined with a small group of people. We came over very quickly. And I thought, I don't even have the money to get this kit. What am I going to do? But I was desperate enough. That couch mom was in a dark enough spot that all I did was I drafted a post. I just said, I'm really excited. I have a box coming. Here's some of the benefits that supposedly come in this box. I don't know, I'm skeptical. I threw up a generic photo that I found online, and within 24 hours, I had pre-sold enough trials, enough 5-day trials or samples, whatever you guys call them, to buy the kit. I was like, oh, because there was like some 22% off sale or something. It was like the end of the month, that September. And I thought, oh, okay, well, we're onto something, because I haven't even tried this. So obviously there's a lot of lessons in there. I won't sidetrack, but from there, I hadn't even, yeah, the money at rank 7. I hadn't even tried the product. So I had a first packet experience too. I mixed up, it was actually a pack of raspberry lemonade, mixed it up, drank it, and within a few sips, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? And it ended up, it was my brain fog lifting, that mommy brain that I always talked about, right? And from there, it just became a really easy mindset shift. It was easy for me to not go into my head thinking about how am I going to sell this? What am I going to do? Am I going to make this money? Blah, 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 blah. I went right into my heart space, because I was like, this is actually making a difference for me, and nothing else ever has. And I was even sick for 3 weeks, because I didn't know what electrolytes were, and I was detoxing from a heavy Diet Coke addiction. So I had aspartame detox. It was insane. But I kept going through. I Googled and found some, we didn't have Mitoplex then, found some electrolytes and felt way better. And thank goodness I kept going, because I'll show you guys. That's what I look like now. But this is what I looked like when I started. So very different. I also like to show my face, because that's what really makes the difference, right? Because it's not a weight loss product. And so because of that, we hit rank 6 just months in business. But of course, my disclaimer is always, I've been in the industry a long time, whatever. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, please. And then just a couple months after that, we hit rank 7, and we've fallen a few times, especially through, like Abigail said, I went through a divorce, thank goodness, best thing I ever did. I got myself and my children into this 5-bedroom home with a fenced-in yard for my dog. You guys ever see the meme, work so hard that your dog has the yard they deserve? So my pit bull baby has her yard. I'm looking at her laying on the deck overlooking it now. And it's been 2 years next month that we've been in this house, and that I've been able, I didn't leave an unhealthy relationship or get myself out of anything, because I didn't have a vehicle. My free Lexus is in the driveway, which I take her down to get her free oil change. Prepay that. If you guys haven't gotten your car bonus yet, roll all.
All right, give us a minute here. Technical difficulties. I'm just messaging her, get her to move to a different.
I like this silence.
Say what, Abby? This is fantastic. Thank you for setting this up.
We need to hear more stories. It's the story business, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're listening to this, I want you to think about, who do I know that sounds like this? Who do I know that's in this situation? So, right off the bat, guys, also, while we're waiting for her to come back on, in the chat section, if you have any questions you can think of that you want me to ask her at the end, write them down, and I'll watch the chats as she's talking so that we can get that content. And until she comes back on, you can pop it out. And if you've got something already on the top of your mind, here she comes. So use the chats if you have any questions. There you are. You cut out at roll that bonus. You're talking about your Lexus. Said roll that bonus. So go for it. Let's see. Go ahead and hit unmute again. There you go. You're on.
Am I good now? Okay, thanks guys for your patience. All right, so yeah, I rolled in my oil changes, so then you bump yourself up to that $800 spot at the bonus. I don't know what I said after that. Let me see. I hate that I can't see all you guys now. I like to see everybody's faces. Okay. Yeah, so got us into this, and you know, that's one thing that I'll never take for granted is where I was, and the fact that this alone, the white packet, getting afraid, getting uncomfortable, made it so that my life is completely different. And anyway, yeah, so I'm just so thankful for it. But I think I saw that there are questions. I also have ADHD, so
No, you are doing great.
Off like that.
You got off and everybody's like, wow, this is awesome. So I guess I want to ask some questions, and I'll monitor the questions in the chats. I just told them to put their questions in the chats and then I'll ask them to you. But, you know, Angela, I think if you are coaching your team, what do you think as a business person climbing through, I really say almost that 4 to 7, what are some really important training tips that you give? And I know when you do your calls on Zoom, what do you think is one of the most important things that people could be utilizing to grow their business right now?
So many, but I think one of the things is to figure out DMOs that are good for you. Not what is your upline's DMOs, not what is your friend's DMOs, like what are DMOs that'll work for you, and making sure that like if within your DMOs is something like message X amount of people, make sure it's something that you can actually do consistently. Because, you know, if you're like, well, I'm going to do 100 because I want to hit this bonus, and now there's this challenge out or this company bonus or whatever it is, but you burn yourself out in a day or two and then you don't send any, or you send one, it's so much more effective to do like even 10 a day. And nobody can tell you what your number is. Like somebody can coach you and assist you through helping find your number, but you know, making sure that they fit you and your business, because you're a business owner, nobody's your boss.
Right. I love that. And Angela, what does your DMO look like? And guys, for those of you brand new, it means daily methods of operation. And it's basically like, this is your job, your home and your phone or your office. So like when you show up to work, what's your work day look like? What income generating action steps do you take every single day to show up to grow your business at Prove It? Daily methods of operation. So Angela, what's your typical DMO look like?
Yeah. So first and foremost, my DMOs also, and everything that I train on and everything that I talk about also includes all mind, body, and soul, because you can't just focus on business and expect that to work, right? So my very first thing is, and maybe this was going to be another question, but it's part of DMOs, is do not grab your phone when you wake up in the morning. Keep it in a different room, keep it somewhere else. I don't care what it is. Your brain is so susceptible of everything. And if you go open it up and you have like somebody in keto flu, or, you know, even if it's positive things, inundating your brain with all of that right away is just not healthy for you. And you're worthy of a better day than that. So wake up and do whatever. Like, I won't put anything on anybody. I would look up Savers Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Is phenomenal if you want some suggestions on that. But then the other thing is, you know, set a workspace. So I actually turned our upstairs living room, we have a downstairs living room, I turned our upstairs living room into my workspace, because I was like, no, I want to show up as a boss. Like, I want to get paid as a legend. So let me show up like that. So showing up how you want to be paid, even, it doesn't matter what rank, your rank is irrelevant. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't dictate your worth. It doesn't dictate where you're going. It's irrelevant. You just have to show up as what you want to be every day. So to simplify for me, I send out birthday messages It's super easy on Facebook. My favorite tip is I have Snapchat basically only for this. I record a video with one of those silly filters that's like a voice recording, which maybe the guys don't want to do. I don't know. There's no judgment. But some kind of video that's your face. So maybe for you, again, it's about who you are. Like I see Philip, I don't know if he's at work too, or if he's just a button-up guy anyway, but his might be that he records just a really sincere, direct on just from his phone. Hey, happy birthday. I hope you really have a great day. Whatever works for him. I do make it generic because then, and I have an assistant at some point, you might want to do that, but my assistant just sends that out to all the birthdays that day. And then when they respond, I then get a personal message with them. So birthday messages, there's also friendversaries. So it's a good way to reconnect with people. It'll tell you that, you've been friends with them for X amount of time on Facebook. I also go through Facebook and Instagram stories. So I just go through and basically show them love, ask them questions. You can set an alarm on your phone to do this like every hour, every other hour, whatever your boundaries, whatever your time blocking is with your business, fitting that in there. I respond to comments on my previous videos or posts. So obviously you want to be getting content out there so that you have that. And I mean, honestly, I do so much today, and I can actually send my DMOs over, but basically it all comes down to what we're all taught is ACE, right? Attract, connect, enroll. Like there's no need to reinvent the wheel. It's just do it in a way that's authentic to you. So attraction for me is getting out live videos. I really love to do Facebook Lives. Interesting thing about that, if you guys are like, oh, I don't know about them, here's something that I learned. I like to provide value via Facebook Lives. I do not consume them. So just because it's a way that you don't consume things, don't shortchange yourself by not providing values in different areas so that you attract more people, right? So Instagram stories, Instagram, TikTok, you don't have to be in everything. Find something you're comfortable with and then branch out a little bit. But my last few customers are from a not even keto TikTok that I did. So just provide the value, make people smile, especially now. So that's one thing that I try to do is how am I providing value for them each day on different platforms? And also how am I showing up for people to kind of relieve some of the stressors that are going on right now? So it might not be value about ketones. It might be value that you just make them smile that day and then they follow you and then eventually they do see, you're wearing swag or drinking ketones or whatever. And the really essential part of DMOs is making sure that you also shut everything off. Making sure that you put everything down, turn notifications off, whatever that looks like for you, and be present with those around you. And if it's just you, which is just me a lot of the time, be present with yourself, practice some self-care, because all of that refilling will make you so much more effective and authentic when you're interacting with customers, promoters, potentials, things like that.
This is awesome. I love that. Angela, what would you say has been just some of your biggest challenges in building, and how have you overcame those and worked through it?
I think the biggest challenge probably for everybody is the rule of thirds, right? We just went over this on a champ call again. Don't fall in love with somebody's potential. Know that a third of your business is on the way out, a third of them are working, and a third of them are coming in. So if you're not always working through that, that's where the challenges happen. So definitely with, like we were talking about with my life stuff that came up even, being able to unplug and pay attention to all that, but also still be generating so that you're getting that third in, you're hitting the multiplier, which I've definitely missed. Like I'm totally transparent about things. Like you will go through it. Like I was about to quit, about to give up because I wasn't doing that work. And then we crushed it and hit 7 again, so all the rewards of plugging back in, reminding myself that it's a 90-day business, like everything's in 90 days, right? What you do now pays off in 90 days, mind, body, and soul. So just was the biggest challenge. And also knowing that you're not for everybody. Like, if I'm going to be honest, that is the biggest thing. And it's okay. And that doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person. Just knowing when to bless and release and focus on those that are there. One thing that I learned in a previous company is somebody with a really large organization said, don't do for one what you wouldn't do for 100. And also, I will match my time with your effort. Those two together, I have chills. Those two, when you give yourself chills, wow, that's a Leo cocky thing. But it makes so much sense, because you don't want people to not like you. I mean, everybody can be honest, right? We wish that everybody would like us, especially if we don't feel like we did anything. But truly, it's just human nature. It's just how things happen. It's ego. It's all those things wrapped in one. So when we focus on those who show up, when we focus on those who genuinely want it, the flow is so much easier. We're feeding into them. It's reciprocated, right? And it's so much more fulfilling that way, to focus on the good and focus on where the energy is truly appreciated.
I love that. I was trying to think of, I'm looking at some of the people on here, and we've brought in quite a few new people during COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people with no former, network marketing, but they're seeing this need for this income and to be at home. And a lot of people are carrying those other jobs still. But I think we've really drilled process in number one. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. This is a little bit technical, but because the challenge kit has gone down to 2 flavors, we're moving back into giving people a trial, following up, closing to the flavor and smart ship, and then teaching the free product or having the promoter conversation. I know you are a big recruiter. And so I'd love to hear, number one, kind of what your flow looks like in that chain. Also, I think you probably have some powerful intention behind bringing people onto your team. And what does that conversation look like for you? And at what place does that happen?
I love this. This gets me really excited, because this used to be the thing that freaked me out. So especially if you guys are new, like she was saying, any talk of like recruiting or whatever would freak me out. So again, everything comes down to heart space and simplifying and knowing, like, you have the outcome, right, to help people be successful no matter what that looks like, but working with them personally in the process. So the entire process, beginning to end, would look like this. For one, don't beat yourself up if your variety doesn't look like this. I don't even have all of them. Okay. I don't ever worry about it. Even if I have the basics, I will just be like, hey, this is still a variety. So never compare yourself against somebody else's, and remember that, some of us Abigail started with a clear baggie. Okay. So like even 4 flavors was spoiling for me. But anyway, starting there, it doesn't matter what your trial looks like, but I am, like, I'd say I'm kind of a trial queen. Okay. So I just start off by offering them the trial and sending them an image of the benefits. So I don't know if we have one in the back office anymore, but it literally just says benefits of NAT, and then it lists the betters in the compliant form. So if you guys don't already have that, I'm sure I could send it over. Remember, don't use one that says like inflammation on it or whatever. There's old ones floating around, so don't just go to Google for it. I highly recommend making your own. Personalizing is massive to me. And that just means you could take an image you like and personalize it. It doesn't mean you have to recreate the wheel, okay? So I send them that, and I'm like, which one of these are you most excited to experience? Because I want to know what they're looking for. I spent too much of my time projecting that everybody else wanted to lose the 60 pounds like I did. Like I projected that way too long. So I want to know what they genuinely want it for. So then when I send them in the mail, I have these little postcards, but honestly, I don't like them as much as people that have things printed, but I got these a long time ago. So I have them, It just has like unicorn, tells them about the 22% off. And then on the back is the hack. This is something you guys all have available to you. It's just like the start with a half a packet, whatever. So I just send that in with their trial along with a handwritten thank you. Personalization is massive. How many times have you guys ordered from a company and you notice the difference, right? And when they care in packaging. And the truth is, even if it's whatever you guys charge, I charge $45 for a 5-day. That's still money that they earned, that they trusted in you to spend, no matter what the dollar amount is, right? So it is, yeah, I'll definitely send a screenshot. It's outdated, but I'll go send it. So just like putting the intention and putting the heart in there. And then maybe this is a little woo-woo for you guys, but whatever your belief systems are, I will spend a second with that trial and be like, I just hope that this person gets to experience something better from this, like keeping your heart in it. So then I also let them know on the thank you, I'm like, contact me when you get it. So they're all excited to contact me. And then I send them a personal message. I just go on my phone on Messenger. I use Messenger primarily for things. And I hit that record button. I'm like, I'm so excited that you got it. Here's the flavors that you got. If I know what flavors, sometimes I don't, I'm just grabbing them. But here's the tips again. So again, it's just a message. We all know that people learn differently, right? They could have a postcard and never read it. It happens all the time. So I send them a personal message and I'm like, message me with any questions. Now, you guys maybe have your own groups, you maybe have your own chats, whatever. It would be really helpful to at least have some information like about Mitoplex handy. And I usually recommend that they add on Mitoplex anyway. But for me, for somebody that was sick for 3 weeks, I'm massive on getting ahead of the curve with that. Okay, so then they try it out after a couple days. Because of that voice note, I've noticed a huge, or that video, I've noticed a huge uptake in people just coming to me instead of me. I'm not organized. I am not a green personality type, and I'm not like that consistent. So I'm just being super honest so that you guys know, to not compare. They're contacting me because I spent that second. I literally told them, message me when you get it. Perfect. There's my reminder. And then the second part is I send them the video. Again, there's the reminder because they message me back after 2 days. Oh my gosh, this is how I'm feeling. Or maybe it's good, bad, whatever it is. Super easy way for me to follow up. And then if it's good, which it is most of the time because I was preemptive with talking about electrolytes, I will say, great. Now I want to show you how to never pay full price ever for these. And then I go into the Smart Ship. And then it's an easy segue, I believe, because when I talk about Smart Ship, I'm like, great, that's the 22% off. We'll set it up, whatever. I then let them know about the referral because it's all part of the Smart Ship, right? I'm like, 2 people. Now, here's where I think the magic happened and why I think Prove It is, I mean, like I said, I've been with 15 companies. I've done research. This is why Prove It stands out, is it does not benefit anybody if you just try to get somebody into the business right away if they're not actually even interested in getting those 2 referrals. Like, it's the coolest thing ever that people can be empowered by being a customer and referring just because they feel good. But if they decide that, no, I'm telling the world, like, this is really what's going on, because after they get that third, that's when it makes the big difference, right? Excuse me. So then I just tell them, but you know, if you're really excited or if you notice a lot of people are interested, here's an option for you. And, you know, especially with these kits that we have and everything, and they've probably watched my story at that point. To me, it's just a simple segue in. And I will even, like, I don't push it. I just had a really good customer join and she right away got referrals right away. But for a while, she just wasn't ready to go beyond a good customer. And honestly, a great customer is better for you than somebody that jumps in and never does anything with the business. And like the last tip to add on to that is if somebody's really like ghosting you, not doing much with the business, Mick, stop it. That makes me so nervous. All of those things. What I will do is every month I try to send, I have my assistant send a message to everybody that just says, hey, I'm always here for you. I get life happens. And here's something really cool. If the business just isn't for you, that's okay. Love you where you're at. You can actually email into support@proveithq.com and ask them to revert your account to a customer account. Guys, even if they're just a customer ordering their own products, you're going to make more money with them reverting back than staying a promoter. Like, don't try to hold on to people that don't want to do it. Also, don't like push that on them. I let them know either way. And I've had people do that. And I've had people kickstart their businesses again. Like, sometimes it just takes that reach out. So I hope that wasn't too much off of what you asked, but I've just learned, I feel like we're just learning so much all the time.
No, I totally agree with that. I've never even thought about having someone email promote, but, and also with all the new, they had those new systems. We had so many people ordering as a promoter because at the time there wasn't the customer option. And now I'm so scared. Well, I'm not scared, but I think people don't realize how much more money you will make if they don't sign up as a promoter and block that spot. So I love the idea of maybe going back in and saying, would you like more training and to make income, or do you feel like maybe we could just take you back to a customer status, my bad, or something like that. That's a really great point. When you were first growing your team, how often were you talking to like your promoters? And I know you come from very strong personality leadership. And so you could have just sat back and let someone else lead your tribe. No problem. Like, how did you form a tribe and your own culture and your own, here's our team and we're going to do this? Because I know that's sometimes what it takes to grow in this business, is to step up and initiate a tribe. So what does that look like? What did that look like? And did you have people following? Did you have people that just weren't engaged with you? I guess, what's it look like? Because going from a 4 to a 7, that's a big one.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with that question. I love how you worded it and everything. For me, it's always been, it's hard. I gotta collect my thoughts. I'm so passionate about this that I tend to just get kind of overwhelmed by it. So I've, being with so many companies, I've had so many different leadership styles and leaders that were there or not there, super active or not active, different personalities, whatever. And I learned that we have to show up as the leader that we want to be. And we can leave the other stuff behind, even if you're leading yourself. Like, what does that look like? What would you like? What things can you learn? And being humble, I definitely got caught up in ego. I will totally call myself out. I will take responsibility. I got caught up in ego and I thought I had to be a certain way and do a certain thing and speak a certain way. And what I realized is I wasn't attracting, like you said, your tribe. I wasn't attracting my authentic people. So no matter what it is, like I said, if it's yourself, if you have one person, if you're 4, whatever rank it is, creating your own culture within Team Prove It is super important. And also probably the most massive thing I learned is it's such a privilege that we have all of these resources and all of these personality types and all of these different people, because people are going to connect with different people at different times. And just because somebody maybe maybe you have a sideline on your call and those two, I know Mick is connected to somebody actually in my team, in my organization. But maybe you have somebody that you just connect and you can really build each other up. As a leader, putting your ego aside, if ego even comes in with this, and just being like, that's amazing that person can thrive, feel protected, feel inspired, feel whatever it is with that human. And that's cool. Learning to be okay with that. The collaboration is massive to me. You guys, I could never express, and I won't, out of respect, what this means to me today. Also, for Abby to invite me on here. But I learned that if I'm not showing up as my authentic self, then I'm teaching others what to do. Just like if we have something simple, when somebody joins and they feel empowered, you guys, do you even know about the units in the Prove It Promoter page? They're so good. Your resources are already there. Somebody joins, great. Have them answer the questions for the Prove It Promoter page. Sorry, I'm sure you guys have your own onboarding. This just got me hyper because the community has everything, right? We're here to all support and love each other. I've met some of my favorite people because of the Prove It community. So hopefully we can see each other in person at some point. But knowing that if you show up for your authentic self, you're not responsible how others react. And you have to remove yourself from that. The people who want your leadership, the people who want what you're doing, the people who are on board with that will come with you. And the ones that don't, that's okay. Again, doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make you a bad person. Detaching from that and empowering people to find the methods or the people or the mentors that help bring them to the next level. We should all want each other to go to the next level, right? No matter what team you're on. We're one team. It's Team Prove It, okay? And I think that shift, because I really thought for a long time, no, it's this, we're elite, we blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, whoa, wait, no, I love these people. Like, we all got to build each other up. So that's what I started doing. I went into a really dark place last year, thought I wasn't a good enough leader. I'm sure you guys have all gotten to that place, right? I'm not a good enough leader. I'm not a good enough promoter, blah, 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 blah. But when you step into that power that you have, when you step into that worthiness and start showing up, you will notice the people fall away. But most importantly, you're going to notice those that are like, oh, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you to say this. I've been waiting for you to give this, permission to be myself. And that's where the magic is. Running with those that want to run with you and blessing those that don't want to, because it's okay. And I think that's been massive. That shift, I know, is what brought us to back to 7. I know.
Don't worry, Leo, you gave me the chills this time. So you give yourself them, but you gave me them. And I know so many people are, just saying, wow, thank you. I love that. Because I've gone through those very dark spaces. And, me and Brian Underwood were texting last night, and I sent him, this is pretty cool, and you'll appreciate this, and I'll bring this to the table with you. But let's see here. I just love, I'll go back to our text message. Okay. I love this. So I sent this picture to BU last night. Michael Rutherford, BU, Dr. Andy. This was one of my very first promoters from the South who blew up and ran faster than anyone in the very beginning. And there are some people sitting on this call that came in through her line, and she left before it got good, before we got, she forged through all the muck in the first 3 years, and now we actually have training. And I feel sorry for that, but we make choices. And I think BU just made a post on his Instagram today, and I absolutely loved it, and I want to share it. I don't know if you saw this, but it says, when we started Prove It, we wanted the name to define the vision and mission. The it refers to your goal and dream, or to prove is to demonstrate what's real. We think that's really empowering, and that's what we wanted for people. People frequently start out in business to chase money, but the ones who last the longest are the ones who find some kind of greater purpose during their journey. Money is not going to make you happy. Happiness comes from what you are able to give back to the world. For me, my purpose is to inspire and help people become the best versions of themselves. And I always tell people, I've been here 6 years, don't get me wrong. There's times where I've looked left and right. I've seen big leaders leave, and I always have kept in mind, I feel like I got on the greatest ship ever, and to forge through those waves and that rockiness and those hard times will bring the greatest reward. And it is consistency. And you have already said, yeah, we hit a rank and then we dip back down, and then we come back up. And I want to know, I know my answer, but you're my third party today. And I'll share with yours, but how do you get out of that stopping? Because we create momentum in this business, and then sometimes we get up against a dead stop. And I think one of the hardest things to do is restart. And also, usually as a leader, when you come to a dead stop, everyone around you dies off too. And then you carry this shame and guilt that you let it go. How do you, if you're brand new, get it going? How do you also, if you've been here a while, seeing yourself fail yourself, how do you get that going again?
Ooh, that's a lot. That was deep. It really comes down to the pillars of belief that we talk about, right? So if you guys haven't heard that, I'm not going to do it any justice. So I'll just say from my heart what it feels like. I knew in those darkest times, not only are some of my closest friends in business with me, but I knew that not only do I have belief in the company, what it's done for me physically, emotionally, financially. Again, if you have not been to a Prove It event, I know we have online ones happening. Knowing how much it changed me. And I also recognize, we can all recognize that there are things that change you and you're not, I forget the word, you're not obligated to stay around, like a relationship or whatever it is. But my belief in where Prove It's going, like you're saying, like going through the storms, like right now only having a couple products, a couple flavors in it, big deal. We roll with it. Like my belief in the company, my belief in, if it's already done this much now in 3 years, just the 3 years that I've been around, I cannot imagine abandoning ship. But the most important thing for me was thinking of the team. Yes, a lot of them fell away because I didn't show up. I was gone, no justifying or whatever. I was just going through my own stuff, right? But knowing that what even a rank 1 can do with their free product for their life, the check that they have, not showing up for them was not an option. Stopping and leaving them was just not an option. So having the belief in them, in the lives already changed, and thinking of the lives that could, if you guys looked at the ripple effect in your back office, that's a wake-up call. Seeing how many lives, because it all starts with you on that ripple effect. Because you decided, because you had belief, because you kept going, the ripple of that will wake you up real quick. And I think like when that just came on, that's only been a few months. When that came on is when I really shifted and I was like, oh, there's no way that I could leave this behind. There's no way with my belief in everything, like the alignment that's happened with this company, everything, even from our dinner in the Bahamas, like I thought about all of those moments and I was just like, that belief is so strong in me and you have to find that in you. Because if you don't have the belief in yourself, because I didn't have belief in myself, you guys notice that? Like I didn't talk about that. I'm talking about the company, the people, the products, that belief. I don't care if you get bored with science, go to Keto Academy, listen, it'll build your belief. Because when you have that, you show others, you give that belief in others when they don't have belief in themselves. I think about that every time somebody spends their money that they might not even really have on even a 5-day trial. Wow, they had enough belief. And that even goes for the person who gets the biggest promoter pack and then adds on whatever. Same thing. Also, those people will ghost you too. So protect your energy. having that trumps everything. I don't even know if I can say any more on it, because like having those moments, having the darkness, sitting in the sadness, sitting in, what do I do? Oh my gosh, so-and-so left. Or in my case, when people knew that I was shifting into being my own leader, the leaders from other companies that were like approaching me saying that they'd build legs and I was like, ew, if you think that it's about the money, just like you said, then you've got it way wrong. Attaching to something else, attaching to not your, I don't like to talk about your why because I think it gets cliche, but attaching to the reason, the legacy that you want to leave will make such a massive difference during those moments if you experience them, which you probably will.
Yeah. I feel like I have 2 more questions on my mind, and I could go on forever, but Angela, you just recruited me. Yeah, you did. I like the word recruit. Okay. Yeah. You just got me on ketones and you shared with me the business, and I just brought the MVP system, and I'm excited, and I'm ignorance on fire, and I'm about to hit my go challenge. How are you coaching me? What are you taking me through? What's your day look like with me?
So this might be a shocker. I am very big on teaching somebody how to fish. I don't hold hands. Listen, I am a mom of 4 teenagers. You get savage when it comes to me, okay? There's just not another option. So I get them in the promoter page. Like I said, I tag them. I go to unit 1. I tag them. I said, start here, go through all these, go from unit 1 to unit 3 and then unit 2. If you guys have done them, you'll understand why. Unit 2 is just so much more in depth, okay? 1 to 3 to 2. We have a team chat. It's just in Messenger on Facebook. It's the entire team. They all support each other, answer questions, because I do not keep notifications on for Facebook. Boundaries are, I think, the sexiest thing on the planet, okay? Can I say that on yours? I have very clear boundaries, and they've served me well. So we have the team chat, and we have a team group. So that's I think that Abigail had just said that you guys have that too.
We run ATM. We do what you do.
Perfect. Yeah. So I just get them right away into that training, and I like to see who's actually doing it because it answers almost every question. That Prove It Promoter training answers almost every question. And then we also, so I'm detached from all of that other stuff. So I have all my own things. So I just have a very simple group that's just welcome to, our name is Untamed Abundance. And all I have in there is a video welcoming them that's super simplified, go challenge, whatever, that directs them to the Prove It Promoter page to do the units. So I'm literally tagging them, just like you said, you guys have tagging systems. I'm literally tagging them in resources that are already available, plugging them in, and then being like, I'm super excited for you. Let's go. Here's the resources. And one-on-one, I will answer the questions. At first, I will answer the first few questions, and I follow up the answer with, here's how you find the information. That's a really great question, and here's where you find it. Believe me, people get annoyed, but they learn quickly. And I remind them, I'm empowering you. You're a business owner. I'm not your boss. You're your boss. Even if you paid $1, you're your boss. So I'll match my time with your effort. So again, it's just, the training page is just the Prove It Promoter page. So if you're not in there already, just search Prove It Promoter, answer the 3 questions, and it might take a minute, but they'll get you in there. So I don't do, like I said, there's no hand holding. There isn't really a system except for getting them into the groups and just tagging them in that right away. And then, the reminders that we have a team meeting, team huddle every Tuesday night. We go back and forth. Sometimes we'll do power hours, things like that. I just try to gauge how we're doing with stuff, but basic simplification. But the biggest thing is teaching them to fish, empowering them as a business owner to know where the resources are and search for them themselves.
I love that. It's the only way we get away from that. And I remember when I started and when that woman started, we had nothing and we had no coach and the CEO. So if we wanted his time, We had to get 2 to 3 people on the phone with him just so we could hear his language and learn about ketones because there were no videos. It was just all about asking people if they would like a trial and getting it into their system, and no training. So I believe if you want to do this, you go do it. And I even though we're blessed with training, I think it also can create, I say all the time, knowledge on ice is not as good as ignorance on fire. And so sometimes we just need to drink it down. I love how you've been saying this whole time, get out of our head, get into our heart, and go tell as many people as possible, offering them a trial and then working through the system. You can do it without any resource. So, yeah, you got my seal of approval on that answer.
Good.
My final question for you, because we're coming up on an hour, is tell me about the moment. Sorry. Tell me about the moment of the exercise where you created your perfect day and how you carried that into your business.
Oh, Abby. Okay, can I see? I'm going to scroll through. Can you guys just put your hand up if you've been to a more event?
I mean, we have so many brand new
Oh,
people.
oh my gosh, this makes me so excited. Okay, so I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody, and it'll be a totally different experience anyway. All right, so one of my first events with Prove It, so this was over 2 years ago, and actually, after I shared that with you, I thought I'm going to share, I have a photo of the moment. How insane is that? I haven't shared it for a while. So, again, you guys already heard my story. I was at the More event. I knew that I had gotten us into this house. So I guess it was just under 2 years ago. I'd gotten us into this house, or I was just about to, maybe. It was very close to that time. And I knew that the next step was putting my foot down and saying, no, I'm getting divorced. No, this is happening. And I was scared. I was feeling, when we hit rank 6, I remember crying, and not crying because I was excited. I remember crying because I thought, oh, it took me this long to do this for my kids. It took me this long to get a life for them where they didn't have to worry about food in the pantry, where they, I was struggling a lot with mom guilt and on top of the relationship stuff. So, it is further proof that your mindset work is just as important, if not, it would definitely more important than the success, whatever that looks like to you. So we were in the Louisville, what's it called? The theater?
Yeah. If you wouldn't have asked, I would have known.
Yeah, I can't think. Yeah, I know.
It's a historic site in Louisville.
Yeah. We've only been there a million times. It's fine. The Palace. Thank you, Samantha. We were in the Palace, and, you have to be sitting with somebody that you don't know. And I remember, and this is actually a really powerful part of the story. I remember this person sitting next to me, and we became very good friends, and being like, oh, that person wouldn't want to sit next to me because look at me and who am I and whatever, just like projecting onto them. Right. And I just kind of ignored that and let myself be present in the moment, which is massive, right? And BU was on stage, and he was telling us to close our eyes. All this mood was set, and you walk through your perfect day. And as I was envisioning my perfect day, which it starts out the same every time I've done the exercise, I was like, oh, my husband's definitely not on there. If you guys start following me, you'll know why husband wasn't on there. And I felt for the first time connected with that perfect day. In the past, like I'm looking at my dream boards right here, I wouldn't have even created a dream board because I didn't believe anything could actually come true. So as my eyes were closed and I started envisioning this, I started to break down. And I mean, full on sobs, knowing like all these emotions at once, like that perfect day can exist for me. It can exist for anybody. I now believe that I'm capable and worthy of it. And now, oh my gosh, this is scary because I'm going to make it happen. And I felt this big, strong arm come right over my shoulder and grabbed me. And one of my friends was in front of me, and she felt the energy. She probably heard me sobbing too, and turned and took a photo. So I'm holding myself accountable to share it today because it's very uncomfortable. And in that moment, I knew that and I already knew, but I really knew that this is not just about ketones. The heart of this company, the point of all of this, the personal growth that I've had, the value that I can provide to other people, not just my perfect day, but helping other people realize that they not only can think about a perfect day, they can believe they're worthy of it, and they can make it happen too. And that was the moment that everything shifted for me. It shifted with my business. And I've gone through hard stuff since then. You guys, you're going to go through the hard stuff. But the difference is on the other side of the hard stuff is beautiful, and it's magic, and it just keeps getting better, and the growth is uncomfortable, and it can be really, really hard, but it just keeps getting better. And that was the moment. That was the magic right there in the palace, surrounded by all of this beautiful energy from our community. And then the support of this person I never even knew moments before. And then going right into, I believe right after that is when we went into statements about the I am statements. And the one that I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't even look him in the eye and say it until he like made me, was I am a good mom. Because it was hard, you know, being a mom of 4 at 22. I had no patience. I had, you know, a newborn, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-year-old. I was alone with them most of the time. And being like, oh, great, now they're teenagers and now I'm going to give them a life. Sitting in that and believing in that, just know that I'm telling you, I know that you've probably been told that events are worth it. And I know that we don't know when it's going to happen. But even if it's online, you guys, it's not about how can I sell more effectively. It really will change everything for you. And that moment solidified everything for me. Like, it was magic. Oh, my heart's all racy, and I have feels, and I don't like feeling feelings. So thanks so much.
I love that. I just think we often wonder, how can I be successful in this business? How do I do this? How do I make money? I had someone, write on here, I have this group of people that I want to tell about ketones, but I can't find the wording. I think it's like you leave the technicality and everything you're talking about that we've gone through. Someone on the outside looking in would think, how does that help me make money? How does that tell me what to do every day? It's enabling you move head, heart, share, and do it with tenacity and consistency, and engage them into culture, community, and people. A lot of people are isolated right now. A lot of people are fearful right now. A lot of people are at home right now. A lot of people like myself are wondering, am I going to be homeschooling all year? Am I going to have to be home? A lot of people are thinking, how can I afford childcare? How on earth can I keep my kid educated during this time? Like, there's a lot of anxiety out there. And I can't think of a better job, community, tribe, support system, financial system in the world that is better than what we have right here. Your job here is to wake up every day and get in your heart and get in that passion and to start talking to people, attract, connect, get the stuff in them and roll. It's what it is. So I just honor you for, we got people crying, showing up today, giving us your heart, giving us your best, giving us your time and energy. You are a powerful woman, and your story, your work ethic, your drive, and I know you have just I've watched even your Instagram. You keep growing as a businesswoman and as a leader, and because you're growing as a person with your authenticity and going through things. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And Guys, we are upon an hour, but this is just so good. If you have like a penetrating question that you want to ask, I haven't seen too many in here. I feel like we covered a lot. You could reach out to me later. I'm going to get things like her DMO chart. I'll get Philip, I'll get that postcard that she sends out. I'll put those resources in our group. But I think I'd like to end the recording here. And